ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining. We will continue our reading Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 4.
Hare Krishna,
So,
I think you are sharing a different screen.
okay, thank you. Let me see. Is it correct one now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. So just a quick recap. We we are discussing chapter number 4, the confidential reasons for appearance of Mahaprabhu. And there we, as of now, discussed about how Mahaprabhu is so merciful. And the very first verse says, even a foolish can fully describe the real nature of the Lord Krishna, which is actually in Braja. Yeah, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Then we discussed about Mahaprabhu's external region, which we talked in the last chapter, which is giving the Premanam and propagating the holy name of the Lord. And then we started discussing about appearance of the Krishna's form, real appearance of Krishna as a complete Krishna. So whenever he appears, all others incarnation they merge into Krishna himself. And also we discussed about the real essence of Krishna appearance is to have association with the Brajavasis, loving affection, reciprocation with them instead of killing demons. Killing demon is secondary. Yeah. And then the chapter describes about Krishna loves more of loving relationship instead of awe and reverence, worshipping in awe and reverence. Yeah. Then we discussed about three kinds of bhakti: ordinary bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, and Vidya bhakti. Vidya bhakti is mixed devotional service. Then taking ahead, we discussed about Krishna in Braja, and especially the last few verses speaks about how the mellows goes through from the 5 kinds of mellow or relationship. Importantly, the 4 are the rasas, though they all devotees who are listing these rasas, they experience the same bliss. However, sentimentally comparison is given that the Madhurya is the topmost or superior than Sakhya, Vatsalya and Dasya. And then even in the Madhurya, there are 2 categories. It says Swakiya and Parakiya. Swakiya is the queens of Dwarka, and Parakiya is the gopis of Vrindavan. And it says the Maya Devi or Yoga Maya, basically she orchestrated these whole pastimes. Yeah. And then even in the Parakiya, so from 4 rasas or 5 rasa, you can say Madhurya is the topmost or highest or superior. In Madhurya we have 2 categories, Swakiya and Parakiya. And in those 2, Parakiya is the superior, and in Parakiya considers all the gopis of Rajavasis, and in that category there are 2 more. I mean 2 division. One is all the other gopis, and one is Srimati Radharani. And the love what Srimati Radharani has for Krishna in Parakiya rasa is the topmost, and no one can surpass it. Yeah. So till that we have discussed as in last verse. So here it says, therefore Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfill his own desires. So Krishna fulfilling his own desire by taking sentiment of Srimati Radharani. And the sentiment of Srimati Radharani is the superior, as we discussed, from 4 rasas to Madhurya to Parakya and Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So this was the summary purport of last few verses that we read last week. Okay, let us discuss next verse. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा सुरेशानां दुर्गम गतिर अतिशयेनोपनिषदाम् मुनीनां सर्वस्वं प्रणत पतलीनां मधुरिमा विनिश्रय प्रेम्नो निखिल पशु पलम भुजो दृशां स चैतन्य किं मे पुनर अपि दृशोर याशन्ति पदम. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu.
Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision?
Interesting. Let's see a few verses and then Prabhupada summarizing those. So Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of all the devatas, the goal of all Upanishads, the be-all and end of all the great sages. It's similarly to one of the verses in Bhagavatam as well. In 12th canto comes like that, you know. And who is he? He is the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? That's a prayer. Yeah. So let us see the next one. I think Prabhupada will summarize. So yeah, he says these are the two verses from Prathama Sri Chaitanya Staka 2 and Dvitiya Sri Chaitanya Staka 3 from Stavamala by Rupa Goswami. Aparam Kshapi Pranijana Vrindasya Kotiki Rasastomam Hritva Maduram Upabhoktum Kam Apiya Rucham Swam Avare Dutim Iha Tadiyam Prakatayan Sadeva Chaitanya Atitiramna Kripa Yatu. Yes, Kishori Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, basically this prayer by Rupa Goswami is saying that may that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be the object of my vision in the first verse, and may that Mahaprabhu, confer unto us his grace. Maybe he bless us like that. Yeah. So I think in the same way where we pray to Lord Jagannath as well, isn't it? Okay. So let us see text 53. भावाग्रहणेरा हेतु कैल धर्म स्थापना तार मुख्य हेतु कही सुन सर्वजन. Okay. Yes. Advaita Krishna Prabhu.
Can I just listen tonight, please?
Yes, Prabhu. No
Thank
problem at all. Yeah. Tell Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
All right.
To accept ecstatic love is the main reason. He appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone please listen. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So as of now, till 50 verses, we saw that the reason of Mahaprabhu and also Krishna appearing and establishing the religious system for this age. But the main reason was ecstatic love, and that is going to get explained further. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, everyone please listen. As earlier he says, very listen carefully as well. Okay. मूल हेतु आगे श्लोकेरा कैल आभास एवे कही से श्लोकेरा अर्थ प्रकाश. After this one, having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, and now I shall manifest its full meaning. Wow. So let us see one second. So if you see the verses here in the sequence, yeah. So fourth verse we discussed a bit, and now it's going to the fifth verse. Radha Krishna Pranaya Viktar, right? So how it is described, like we saw that the verse 4, yeah, verse 4 is the external reason. Verse 5 and verse number 6 of chapter 1 is the internal reason. So now if you see here, this verse number 5 is being described. So just before this, here being described that having first given his hints about the verse describing the principal reason why Lord appeared, and now he is describing in a sense. So just reiterating the verse again, this verse and the other verse, I believe the same, will be discussed in detail now. Okay, let us see. Radha Krishna Pranaya Viktir Haladini Shaktirasmad Ekatmanau Api Bhuvi Puradehi Vedam Gatavutau Chaitanyakhyam Prakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chaikyam Apatam Radha Bhavaduti Swalitam Naumi Krishna Sarupam. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu.
The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself.
So this is the essence. Yeah? The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal potency, pleasure potency. So basically, Krishna first expansion. So there are two Krishna expansion, one from right hand, one from left hand. So from right hand is Lord Balram, and then all the Purusha avatars goes through, and then Balram, and then Sankarsana, and then others. From the left hand, it is the pleasure potency of Srimati Radharani expansion. So that's why it says, although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. And now these two transcendental identities have again united. So Radha and Krishna, they again united and come as a Mahaprabhu. Yeah. So this text is from the diary of Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah, that we saw. Okay, let us see now. Text 56. Radha Krishna ek atma dui deha dhari अन्य ने विलास रस आस्वादन करी. Yeah. So it says Radha Krishna ek atma dui deha dhari. Okay, let's read out. Kishore Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love.
Yeah. So there is no difference between Radha and Krishna in one way. And now they have assumed two bodies. How? That we discussed in the previous verse by internal pleasure potency. Srimati Radharani is the internal pleasure giving potency of Lord Krishna. The true transcendentalist, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to the materialistics. The above description of Radha and Krishna from the diary of Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami is a condensed explanation, but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. One is enjoying in two. Sri Krishna is the potent factor, and Srimati Radharani is the eternal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They are identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other any more than we can separate fire from heat. So, like, we cannot separate fire from heat. Wherever there is fire, it is supposed to provide heat. It depends upon the intensity of fire and intensity of heat. But if fire is there, even a fire in the matchstick, it produces a heat. Even a forest fire produces a heat. In the similar way, wherever there is a potent, there is a potency. Like, you cannot say, okay, let's let out all the purport and then we can discuss if something else there. Everything in the absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of the oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Chaitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. In fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna and eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Right? I repeat, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna, and she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of Mahabhagavata devotee. The very name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entities' service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavan therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as the loving servitor of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approached the fallen conditioned souls of the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationship with the Lord. The activities of the Lord Chaitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge, and bliss in full. Right? His internal potency is exhibited first as Sat, or existence, or in other words, as a portion that expands the existence functions of the Lord. When the same potency displays the full knowledge, it is called Chit. We say Sat Chit Ananda, Sachid Ananda, that is three things. Sat, and the knowledge potency is Chit or Samvit Shakti, which expands the transcendental forms of the Lord. Finally, when the same potency plays as the pleasure-giving medium, it is known as Hladani or Ananda, giving bliss, right? Or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus, the Lord manifests his internal potency in the three transcendental divisions, Sat Chit Ananda. So yeah, it's quite clear from Prabhupada's purport. But again, the potency, it's like it says, you can say someone is he got a good strength, right? As soon as we say someone has good strength, it means we say the person, the person that got strength. So if the person doesn't exist, we don't see his strength. So to show the strength, the person must exist, and the strength of person which is invisible cannot exist without the person, or we cannot say that, oh, these two are separate. Actually both are the same. In a similar way, potent and potency, Krishna and Radha, they are actually the same. 1 second, give me 1 second. Okay. Text 57. सेई दुई एक एवे चैतन्य गोसाई रस आस्वादिते दोहे हैल एक थानी. Yes, Rumila Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Now to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Text 58. इति लागे आगे कई थार विवरण जहा हईते हय गौरीर महिमा कथन. Tell Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known.
So let us see what happens now. So basically the purport what Prabhupada wrote here in the long one, and that's going to be coming in verses a bit. Yeah, let us see. राधिका होइन कृष्णेर प्रणय विकार स्वरूप शक्ति ह्लादिनी नाम जार अयहार. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu.
Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his eternal energy called Radhini.
Yeah. Transformation of love of Krishna is Srimati Radharani. This is called as Hladini potency. Hladini कराये कृष्णे आनंद स्वादन हलादिनी द्वार करे भक्तिर पोषण. See how important Srimati Radharani is in our devotion. This says, Okay, let's read out first. Kishori Prabhu.
That Hladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees.
Yeah, same potency, same Hladini potency of Krishna, which is Srimati Radharani, she gives pleasure to Krishna. At the same time, the same Hladini potency nourishes his devotees. Yeah. Okay, purport. Srila Jiva Goswami has elaborately discussed the Hladini potency in his Priti Sandarbha. Yeah, there are 6 Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami, and one of that is Priti Sandarbha. Priti Sandarbha, Atma Sandarbha, Bhakti Sandarbha, not Atma, Paramatma and Bhagavan Sandarbha. These are nice by Jiva Goswami. He says that the Vedas clearly state only devotional service can lead one to personality of Godhead. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted by devotional service, and as such, the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge rests in knowing the science of devotional service. Wow! I mean, one one paragraph to define devotional service completely end to end, isn't it? He says, only devotional service can lead one to the personality of Godhead. If you want to be there, there is no other way, only devotional service. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. If you want to see Lord face to face, the only means is to devotional service. The Supreme Personality of God is attracted by devotional service. We discussed same thing in active devotion as well. Sri Krishna Akarshani is one of the quality of pure devotional service. It means the devotional service attracts Krishna, so that it says. And as such, the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge rests in knowing the science of devotional service. The essence is to understand the science of devotional service. What is the particular attraction that makes the Supreme Lord enthusiastic to accept devotional service, and what is the nature of such service? The Vedic scriptures inform us that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is self-sufficient, and that Maya, nuisance, can never influence him at all. Therefore, the potency that overcomes the Supreme must be purely spiritual. Such a potency cannot be anything of material manifestation. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be of material composition, like the impersonalist conception of the bliss of Brahman. Devotional service is reciprocation between two, and therefore it cannot be located simply within oneself. Therefore, the bliss of self-realization of Brahmananda cannot be equated with devotional service. I think we have discussed this point elaborately in Nectar Devotion discussion as well. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three kinds of internal potency, namely Hladini Shakti or pleasure potency, Sandhini Shakti or existential potency, or Sambit Shakti or conjugative potency. Yeah. So this is Sat, Chit, Anand. In the Vishnu Purana 1:1269, the Lord is addressed as follows: O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes, Hladini, Sandhini, and Samvit, exist in you as one spiritual energy. But the material modes which cause happiness, misery, and mixture of the two do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. Have you heard sometimes people say the Lord is Nirguna? Right? So, how this word, when we say Lord is Nirguna, right, or Nirvana, Nirguna, so they say that, it means he's impersonal, he's not a person because he's Nirguna. But the actual meaning of Nirguna is that Krishna is unaffected by material quality. That's why it's called Nirguna. This guna means what? Three modes. Mode of material nature, Sattva Guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. The mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. These cannot affect Krishna, or they do not exist in Krishna. That's why he is also addressed as Nirguna. But impersonalist and Mayavadis, they use this word stating that, see, he is Nirguna. He has no form. He is impersonal. But that's not the real understanding. Real understanding is that Nirguna means Krishna is unaffected by gunas or material qualities. Hladini is the personal manifestation of the blissfulness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. by which he enjoys pleasure. Because the pleasure potency is perpetually present in the Supreme Lord, the theory of the impersonalist that the Lord appears in the material mode of goodness cannot be accepted. The impersonalist conclusion is against the Vedic version that the Lord possesses a transcendental pleasure potency. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of God. Love of God is an epithet for the pleasure potency of the Lord. Therefore, devotional service reciprocated between the Lord and his devotee is an exhibition of the transcendental pleasure potency of the Lord. Yeah. The potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that always enriches him with transcendental bliss is not material, but the Sankarites have accepted, Sankarites has accepted it as such because they are ignorant of the identity of the Supreme Lord and his pleasure potency. Those ignorant persons cannot understand the distinction between the impersonal spiritual bliss and the variegatedness of the spiritual pleasure potency. The Radhini potency gives the Lord all transcendental potency pleasure, and the Lord bestows such potency upon his pure devotee. Wow, a bit heavy, yeah. Okay, let us see. Go more. Text 61. Sachidananda Purna Krishnera Swarupa Eka Eche Sakti Taradhare Tina Rupa. Who was reading? I forgot. Maybe Ugla Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna's body is eternal, Sat, full of knowledge, Chit, and full of bliss, Ananda. His one spiritual energy manifests three forms. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. आनन्दांशे ह्लादिनी सदंशे संधिनी चिदंशे संवेत्यार ज्ञानकरी मणि. Tell Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hladini is his aspect of bliss, Sandhini of eternal existence, and Samvit of cognizance, which is also accepted as knowledge. Hare Krishna.
So, in his thesis, Bhagavad Sandarbha 105 or 103, by Srila Jiva Goswami explained the potencies of the Lord as follows. The transcendental potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by which he maintains his existence is called Sandhini. The transcendental potency by which he knows himself and causes others to know him is called Sammit. The transcendental potency by which he possesses transcendental bliss and causes his devotees to have bliss is called Hladini. The total exhibition of this potency is called Vishuddha Sattva. Right? So in the material world we have Sattva, Raja and Tamas, but in spiritual world it is Vishuddha Sattva, or it's called as pure Sattva. There is no, what it means is, in material world we have Sattva-guna, Raja-guna, Tama-guna. Sattva-guna can be mixed with Raja-guna and Tama-guna as well. So it can counteract, or Tama-guna can sometimes become more, Raja-guna can become more, and then which can subdue the Sattva-guna in the person. But in Shuddha Sattva means there is no tinge of involvement of other gunas. Here goodness, mental goodness, passion and ignorance cannot take over at all here. I think Prabhupada will explain here. Let's see. And this platform is spiritual variegatedness is displayed even in the material world when the Lord appears here. The pastimes and manifestation of the Lord in the material world are therefore not at all material. They belong to the pure transcendental state. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that anyone who understands the transcendental nature of Lord's appearance, activities, and disappearance becomes eligible for freedom from material bondage upon quitting the present material tabernacle. I think this is chapter 4, verse 9, Bhagavad Gita. He can enter the spiritual kingdom to associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and reciprocate the Hladini potency in transactions between him and the Lord. In the mundane mode of goodness, these are tinges of passion and ignorance. I think that's what I was talking about. In the mundane mode of goodness, still there are some tinges of passion and ignorance. And therefore, mundane goodness being mixed, it is called Mishra Sattva. But the transcendental variegatedness of Visuddha Sattva is completely free from mundane qualities. Visuddha Sattva is therefore the proper atmosphere in which to experience the personality of Godhead and his transcendental pastime. Spiritual variegatedness is eternally independent of all material condition and is not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, both being absolute. The Lord and his devotees simultaneously perceive the Hladini potency directly by the power of Samvit potency. The material modes of nature control the conditioned soul, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is never influenced by these modes, as all Vedic literature directly and indirectly corroborate. Lord Krishna himself says in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 11.25.12, Sattvam Rajastama iti gunas jivasya naiva me. The material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance are connected with the conditioned souls, but never with me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vishnu Purana confirms this as follows: Satvadayo na santishe yatra na prakata guna shuddha sarva suddhevya puman adye prasiddhatau. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is beyond the three qualities goodness, passion, and ignorance. No material qualities exist in him. May that original person, Narayana, who is situated in a completely transcendental position, be pleased with us. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 10.27.4, in the praises Krishna as follows: Visuddha Sattvam Tava Dhama Santam Tapomayam Dvashtarajastamaskam Maya Mayoyam Guna Samprabhao Na Vidyate Te Grananubandhan. My dear Lord, your abode is Visuddha Sattva, always undistributed by the material qualities and the activities there are in transcendental loving service unto your feet. The goodness, austerity, and penance of the devotees enhance such activities, which are always free from the contamination of passion and ignorance. Material qualities cannot touch you under any circumstances. When not manifested, the modes of material nature are said to be in goodness. When they are externally manifested and active in producing the varieties of material existence, they are said to be in passion. And when there is a lack of activity and variegatedness, they are said to be in the mode of ignorance. In other words, the pensive mode of goodness, activity is passion, and inactivity is ignorance. Above all, these mundane qualities, manifestation is Visuddha Sattva. Above all, this mundane qualitative manifestation is Visuddha Sattva. When it is predominated by Sandhini potency, it is the perceivable of as the existence of all that be. When predominated by the Samvit potency, it is perceived as knowledge is in transcendence, and when predominated by the Hladini potency, it is perceived as the most confidential love of Godhead. Visuddha Sattva, the simultaneous manifestation of these three in one, is the main feature of the kingdom of God. The absolute truth is therefore the substance of reality, eternally manifest in three energies. The manifestation of the internal energy of the Lord is the inconceivably variegated spiritual world. The manifestation of the material energy comprises the living entity, and the manifestation of the external energy is the material cosmos. Therefore, the absolute truth includes these four principles: the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, His internal energy, His marginal energy, and external energy. The form of the Lord and the expansion of His form as Swayam Rupa and Bhaiva Prakasa are directly the enjoyer of internal energy, which is the internal exhibitor of the spiritual world, the most confidential of the manifestation of energy. The external manifestation, the material energy, provides the covering bodies of the conditioned living entities from Brahma down to insignificant ant. This covering energy is manifested under the three modes of material nature and appreciated in various ways by living entities in both higher and lower forms of life. Each of the three divisions of internal potency, Sandhini, Samvit, Hladini energies, influences one of the external potencies by which the conditioned soul are conducted. Such influence manifests the three qualitative modes of material nature, providing definitely that the living entities, the marginal potency, are eternally servitor of the Lord and are therefore controlled by either the internal or the external potency. As a huge long purport, I think we will see and we'll try to re-summarize this whole next week when we continue next week. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining me.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
Ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank